Danny has tried to hop into bed with half the guys on the boat, and then she gets mad when Daisy tells Chase about it. Cloyce pops one when Daisy yells at him, and Daisy forgets to buy rosé for a boat full of middle-aged women.
I'm Morgan.
I'm Lane.
Welcome to Below Deck Experts. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Below Deck Experts, a sibling duo show where we recap current Below Deck seasons. Today, we are recapping Below Deck Sailing Yacht, Season 5, Episode 10, All Work and No Rosé.
All work and no rosé.
I know that all I do is talk about RuPaul's Drag Race on here, but there was a drag queen called Rosé, and that's all I can think of.
Of course.
No, I don't even think of the actual, what rosé is. I just think of the drag queen Rosé. She's a great drag queen.
I love how
she almost won.
You always try and find a way to connect it back to
always
RuPaul's
can.
Drag Race. Always can.
Always. So the main points we have for today, obviously, are the Danny, Chase, Deanna situation, which I don't even know what to call it because it's just annoying.
Yeah.
We'll get into it. The Rosé dismay. The jellyfish sitch.
We spent 2 hours trying
we're reaching today, guys. There wasn't a lot.
There wasn't.
And Cloyce and Daisy at odds.
Yeah.
And I guess we didn't even mention, obviously we're recording remotely.
This
is not how we usually don't look like this. I am pretty sick. I have the flu or something. It could be COVID, who knows, but I didn't want to give it to Lane, so we decided to record like this week. Please forgive us.
Forgive us.
You get to see Lane's room though, so you're welcome.
Welcome to my room. Pretty cool in here.
It's got a bunch of my mom and grandma's old artwork that they didn't want anymore.
I bought all of this from a dealer, painter,
from Goodwill.
Arter.
Oh man. Okay. The question I have for you is kind of boring because I could not think of anything clever this episode. I feel like I'm gonna struggle, and I'm sick. Overall, what did you think about Cloyce's food?
He was annoying the hell out of me, but that's normal because he announces everything like it's a whole big thing.
Yeah.
What is the word? Shallot. It's just a potato.
A shallot's an onion.
It's just an onion.
You said a shallot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, shallot's like a little mini onion. It's kind of in the onion garlic family. Look it up again, because it should come up. Shallot. Shallot.
The allium family, which also includes onions, garlics, leeks, and chives.
There you go.
All right, there you go.
There's a leak in the boat.
There's a leak in the boat.
Do you remember that movie? It's I think it's from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. It's one of the best lines from an animated movie.
Oh yeah, and it's an actual leak.
It's an actual leak. And he's like, ah! Oh. So anyway, you didn't really answer me. Cloyce annoyed you.
Yeah, because they all do it where they say every little thing like it's this super fancy thing. But when I looked into actually what the food was, it does all sound pretty good.
Yeah, he did the thing this week that we talked about last week where I made the joke where I was like, so that's just foamed cabbage or something. He's doing the thing where he's making something that's pretty simple. It's the egg thing.
Yeah.
It's cool, right? And people eat that up, but give me a really good bread pudding instead. I don't need the sciencey. I'm not into there's a word for it.
Gastronomy.
It's yes. I guess I'm just not into that, but some people are, so it's just a preference.
Is that really the word?
I think.
I just pulled that out of my ass.
You have me convinced.
Hey, it is right.
Yeah, look at that.
Go. I know what shallots are. But yeah, he seems to be relying more on the art and flashy part of it rather than it being really good.
Right.
But it also sounds pretty good. It's just not like, I don't know. If you look past how flashy it is, it's probably just like you said, a
Right.
regular
Uh,
food.
yes, I think the thing with gastronomy is it's cool. It's more of like an art,
Mhm.
but it's not known for being like super tasty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it like looks cool, or they did something cool to it, but it
Yeah.
doesn't scratch the itch.
Right, right. If you're
Um,
looking for like the best dish you've ever had, you're probably not going to get it with that type of cooking.
yeah. So my question for you is, what do you think about the whole Derry and Gazy roommate situation?
I mean, I think it can be fine if they don't make it a thing. Like,
Yeah.
they clearly just need to be friends because, yeah, we won't even get into all the details of that. But, like, if they can just accept that they're friends, it can be fine.
Yeah, and I think Daisy's like 90% convinced they can, and Gary's about 15% convinced.
Yeah, I just don't know. Well, I think it literally just boils down to Gary, like, and his own issues, like we
Mhm.
talked about, like with alcohol and like when he gets drunk and like the things he says and the things he does. Because I think a sober Gary is completely fine. Like, but I
Yeah.
think, then you get him drunk and he says things like, "Oh my God, she's so hot," or whatever while he's peeing. And that's what's gonna mess it up. You know what I mean? Like sober Gary and Daisy, Derry and Gazy
There you go.
are fine, you know?
Yeah.
So we'll see. But I'm
Yeah.
sure, of course, for the drama, something's gonna happen.
Yeah, and that is kind of like a common thing when you have a problem with alcohol, is just making mistake after mistake after mistake, and then it's just a
Yeah.
cycle of I'm sorry, fuck you,
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
So,
yeah.
all right, let's start with the episode. Um, I said we start with Deanna and Danny drooling over Chase, and I want to be like, barf.
Yeah.
It's
Not
just so funny to me how he like was not a lady killer whatsoever last season. And
yeah.
now he's this like everybody wants him?
Yeah, he's also walking into like a really good situation though, where like he could be anybody. He's just a new guy,
Right.
and they're like, "Oh my god, come into my room,"
Right. Yeah.
and we're like, "Relax." He was kind of
Yeah.
cracking me up this episode though.
He's whatever.
He's hit or miss, but he hit a couple for me this episode where he just walks up to the bar when I think it's Daisy and Diana are talking and they're arguing about something, and he just walks up, pretends to like pick something up and put it in his mouth, chew and walk away. But he didn't put anything in his mouth, and I just thought it was hilarious.
Oh, I missed that.
He just did that joke for nobody.
God. Because he loves camera time, right? They all do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but but yeah, so yeah, we start there. We're on charter number 6. They're from Chicago. It's a group of ladies celebrating at the primary's 50th birthday party.
Mhm.
They're going through the preference sheet and they want to have a Studio 54 party. And I was like, hell yeah, we get more Captain Glenn's afro.
Hell yeah.
They love throwing those pictures in. They have like 3 of them. We see them multiple times every season.
Yeah, we do.
The same pictures. they're not new. They're the same ones.
No, they're the exact same pictures, but they're great.
So great. Um, so truly guys, like this I always feel like I'm being super negative, but we were so happy with the episode last week and then this episode was like
Yeah.
um what's next? Danny and Chase are flirting and Deanna isn't a fan. We see that like multiple times throughout this episode. It's kind of foreshadowing. I mean, what do you think about that? What is your stance on the whole Chase, Deanna, Danny thing? Like who should win out?
I'd say Diana, but I just don't see that working out. I don't see her like hooking up with someone like that.
Yeah, I just what's gonna happen, and I've seen this too, like, I guess, if you're a girl and you've had a group of friends, you know there are different personalities in the group. Danny's personality is the one, she'll go up to anybody, she'll talk to anybody.
Mm.
And so she will end up hooking up with the most guys because she isn't afraid to put herself out there. Deanna is the friend that like barely talks to anybody and kind of wants guys to come up to her, which we've already seen this season when they were at the beach club. But the truth is like that's rarely going to happen. Like you're going to have just it's just Danny's just going to end up talking to more people. That's just the way it works.
Yeah.
And when you have a guy that really doesn't care too much how,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
You don't want to
They're going to
say,
go with Danny.
yeah, you don't want to say easy, but it's
Right.
easier to communicate with someone when they walk up to you, is
Yeah.
what it boils down to.
Right. Like they're going to kind of take the path of least resistance, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Like that's not meant like it's just like what most people will do. And
Yeah.
so then people like Deanna like are like upset, but it's like you have to put yourself out there. But we saw this episode like her and Chase talk a little bit, but we'll just have to I guess kind of see what happens.
Yeah. It seemed like a very, I don't even know how to put it. Like, I guess it would be a very slow and long process for them to get together, and Danny is just knocking
Right.
on his door.
Exactly. Like she'd
Yeah.
hook up with him tonight, you know. So
Yeah, and she was being like, not gross, but I'm like, relax.
I
Where she's
know.
like, I would just love to take my shirt off and my pants and get in the sun. I'm like, Danny,
I know.
relax.
Jesus,
You're
calm
working.
down. I know. I know. We all knew people like that, like
Oh
especially in
yeah.
your early 20s. Like it's like I can't really fault her. She says some things that are kind of annoying later on, but I don't always fault her for being that way because I've known people that way and it's like that's just how they are. But and that was the other thing I think I wrote later on was Deanna can only really get mad if she would go up to Danny and say, "Hey, I would like to see if I can, create something with Chase." Like, I don't know. I don't think either one really has a say over the other right now.
Yeah, it's not like they called like dibs, or
Right.
they didn't talk about it. There's no, like, I think Deanna maybe thinks because Danny got to hook up with the other guy.
Or that she had like somewhat of a thing with Keith. I think
Yeah.
you're right. She does kind of think she has the right of way, but it's not really how it works.
No. No, it is not.
So, Um, yeah, then we kind of already talked about like Cloyce doing the gastronomy, doing the science in the kitchen, Daisy and Gary rooming together, seeming to go well so far. They go sailing with this charter. I mean, there wasn't anything spectacular about the sailing.
And
Things go
shit falls
crashing like
over. Yeah,
always.
there it is.
Yep. Um,
I'm shocked.
so I guess let's just jump to lunch. You want to talk about lunch?
Sure. Oh yeah, they do it while they're sailing. They serve
Oh, really?
lunch. Yeah.
I didn't notice that. Must
Th-
maybe not like the intense sailing.
Yeah, I think they have. I'm guessing they have like the sails up, but it's not like they're
Right, yeah,
peeling
yeah.
back and forth or whatever. They started with a watermelon feta salad with microgreens.
Ooh, I didn't notice that. I would go for that.
Yeah, at first I was like, ugh, gross. But then I'm like, that's probably super refreshing.
Yes.
Watermelon, mint.
Especially with someone that knows how to do that, knows how to like put the flavors together.
Yeah, because I don't even know what microgreens are, if I'm being
Now I'm
honest.
really hungry.
Are you?
Every time I cook a dinner, I'm like, you know what sounds better? Spicy chicken strips. I've done that multiple times in the last couple of weeks where I've like made a dinner and then I'm like, but I really would like spicy chicken strips.
I
Uh,
I don't remember what I was like reading or watching, or no, I went to mom and dad's for dinner last night. And I was thinking about what I cook for myself, and I'm like, it's only chicken and rice. That's like all I
yeah.
eat.
Why
Like,
don't you cook better for yourself?
I don't know. I
I don't know why
literally
you don't either.
I've been out of rehab for 3 months, and I still just make chicken and rice. There's
Yeah,
nothing
which it was
stopping me.
Right, and that's what I was gonna say. I feel like in when you were not sober, that was a little bit of an issue, but now you're sober and it's like, okay, I guess it's not an issue
Yeah,
if
it's
somebody
not.
wants to eat.
Yeah. Like I haven't thought about it until yesterday.
You used to make yourself like buffalo chicken mac and cheese and stuff.
Yeah.
That would be good, and that's cheap, mac and cheese with turkey and buffalo
Yeah.
sauce.
That was like the cheapest meal I could
That is
make.
really like kind of the cheapest meal you can think of.
It's a dollar mac and cheese,
And
ground
ground turkey's like
chicken.
$3.
Yeah, ground turkey, ground chicken, a stick
Yeah,
of
yeah.
butter, and some hot sauce.
Anyways, going back to this fancy people's lunch.
Anywho,
They
yeah.
didn't have mac and cheese and buffalo turkey.
um, where was it? So it was really quick. Or
Yeah.
no, it was quick, but I got it. So then there's like another. I'll just skip that. I'm not sure what I saw. If it was like a commercial or something. Um, I have a mixed green salad with crab meat, but that would be two salads. That doesn't make any sense.
What?
Um, yeah, I don't know why I have that written down.
No, maybe that would make sense. I mean, the watermelon with feta is kind of just a maybe like a it's not really a salad.
True. Yeah, that's
I really
true.
didn't pay attention at all, so I can't even everything you're saying is new to me because I was like lunch, tuning out, that's Lane.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the green salad with crab meat. I just saw that and guessed. I don't think they talked about it.
Yeah.
And then yellowtail with pickled Fresno chili, avocado, crispy shallots, and some shafir lime and lemongrass powder.
Yeah,
And
that sounds awful to me.
yeah, this is where I wrote. He's also wearing hair gel, but he forgot to announce that to a crowd. Fuck you, Cloyce.
I thought you were a fan of Cloyce. We don't like
I
Cloyce now?
I am most of the time, but
Yeah.
honestly, I just get annoyed because I can't pause and see what they have written at the bottom of the screen because Peacock's just annoying like that.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, what I think you can do is you can pause and then hit the back button one time, and I think it'll take that away.
Hmm.
At least on my TV, I think it does that.
I'll try that,
But
but for now,
okay.
I'll just keep taking it out on Cloyce.
Yep. All right.
Um, so yellowtail has a sweet and mild flavor, very similar to other seafood. That's why it works well with the sourness of the pickled peppers that are. I messed all that up. It's a sweet pepper that's
Peter
pickled.
Piper picks a peck of pickled peppers.
It's pickled sweet peppers and seafood, and then lemon lime powder. Tastes pretty good. That's all I'm trying to say. Cloyce can catch these hands. Thank you.
No, I don't like you know, like me, I don't like pickled onions. I don't like pickled peppers. Like you and Brad would like that, but not me.
Oh yeah, that sounded great. I was pumped about that.
No, thank you. Is that it?
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty sure.
So this is where Daisy realized they have no rosé. Daisy realizes they have no rosé,
Mm-hmm.
which is crazy. Like it literally seems like she legit forgot, which I feel like that stuff can happen. Like you can't be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but didn't this happen? Sorry. Did this happen last season where they were like going to ask people for stuff at another boat? Was it like champagne or something?
Yeah. No, I think it was wine because they had champagne. I can't
Oh,
remember.
but it wasn't their fault. Remember, it was the provisioners.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was
Oh,
a
that's what it
shot.
was.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. This was more
Yeah.
Daisy's mess up. But luckily, by the grace of God, they found one bottle to hold them over and then got more. Basically sent Chase and Danny out to find more, and they went to this little store and found more rosé. So everything was fine.
Yeah, they go to one store and Danny was just ready to go back to the boat after it didn't work. Like
Yeah, she was
what?
like, I give up. That's it. There's no more.
And it was just so weird too. Like they just went to this desolate store, not close to
Right.
anything else. I'm like, we see like these clips of all these businesses and shit, and you drop her off at some corner store. Like,
I know. I know. I noticed that too. I was like, maybe it has to do like truly with where they're anchored. Like maybe they're like a little far out. But
Could be,
yeah, I
yeah.
thought that was weird. I was like, I don't think that place is open, period.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they're just
That
closed.
could just be a house for all we know.
Right. They don't let it look it doesn't look like anybody's been there for a while.
Yeah.
So, um, but all is fine. So, um, I just have more about like Danny talking to Deanna about Chase, but then Deanna isn't like speaking up. So it's like, okay, I can't back you up, Deanna, if you don't tell her that you would like a shot at him. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Danny's just that friend that's gonna assume that like she's good to go. You know?
Yeah, I also think Diana might know that she doesn't really have like a claim on him,
Yeah.
but maybe wants other people to like have her back.
Yeah. I think that's probably what it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
she knows she can't really have a claim. Okay, so basically now, I mean, truly, I have dinner being next. Did I miss anything in between there?
Not really. There's like a little scuffle between like Cloyce and the stews. And I'm starting to think the food I talked about earlier might be dinner. So we're just gonna
Really?
cover both.
I wouldn't know.
I don't
We're
know. It kind of mixed together for me. This episode was just kind of eh.
Yeah. Wait, where does the jellyfish sting come in? Because I don't know if I wrote that down. Did we skip that or is that later on?
That's like almost at the end of the episode.
Is it? Oh
Hmm.
yeah, it is. Okay. I said LMAO, the noise she made when she got
Yeah.
stung by a jellyfish. I just saw the note. I was like, I had to have written something about it.
Yeah, I can talk
Yeah,
about the food for dinner if you want.
cool.
So it was black cod marinated in black miso and black sesame vinaigrette, which
Wow.
that's just sesame or no, miso is soy, not
Holy
sesame.
cannoli.
Holy cannoli.
That's what I feel like we should do. Just be like, just act like that SNL skit. You say the food and be like,
I'll do that one of these weeks. I'll put it
give
together
me
like that.
cancer now,
Give
God.
me cancer now, God. Now I'm just gonna be thinking that the whole time I read this.
Yeah.
uh,
But no, that really did sound interesting. I would have eaten that one. Like that one sounded interesting to me.
yeah, and he said he's doing like a whole like black and white thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh, here we go. Like he's just gonna do black and white things. But from what I researched, it does sound really good.
Yeah.
Like from my understanding, black miso is just like soy based, and
Yeah.
then like so that's a little bit more salty. The vinaigrette is a little more like a pop of flavor, um, mixed in with like a buttery cod. Sounds pretty
Yeah.
good.
It does. He knows flavors for sure.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's just
No.
22 and it shows.
Is that it?
Yeah, and then the coconut cream fried egg.
Yeah, I just wrote that down. The coconut cream fried egg, and then I think the egg was like mango. Does
Peach.
that make sense? Is that what peach? I thought it was mango. I'm about
Mm,
99% sure it was mango. I didn't write it down, but yeah, I mean, I'm not going to
I
act like
think
I'm
you're
not
right.
impressed. I absolutely am. Like I think that's so cool, but that's gastronomy, right? Like that if that's what you want, like that's what you're going to get. But to me, like if you gave me this coconut cream fried egg that tastes like mango or some really awesome gelato from Italy, I'm going to pick the gelato every time because it just
Yeah,
is what it is. And if it's done right, it's amazing.
yeah,
So it's just a preference thing. Like I don't want to shit on it at all. I just wouldn't want that, you know?
yeah. And I was just kind of thinking of like some of the nicer restaurants that we've gone to, like say in Chicago. They're not super like when the food comes out, it's not like it's not spinning, it's not on fire. It
Right.
looks cool, but it like tastes amazing, and I think we enjoy that more than I guess other parts of the country that like it to look cooler. I don't know.
Well, to be honest, and this is again, I don't want to like make anybody upset, but when you have everything you'd ever want. Like you
Yeah.
reach the amount of money that you can buy anything. That's when people go to things like gastronomy, right? Because it's like
Yeah.
something new, something cool. So I really do think it has to do with your tax bracket
Yeah.
and just preference of like, I think this is really cool. That's something I want. But if you don't have all the money in the world and you just value flavor over, I guess, art or creativeness. So I think that's the difference. It's not that I wouldn't appreciate it. Again, I would, but it's just not, it's just a preference, right? Like if I didn't like Mexican food, I wouldn't ask for Mexican food. So I wouldn't ask for this. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Fair.
But we didn't talk about kind of and this is like so silly, I think. It's like the guests were up on the top and then they wanted to move, right?
Mhm.
And so that wasn't like really communicated well. So they like moved down and then Glenn starts telling them like his life story.
Yeah.
Such an innocent thing by Glenn. I was cracking up because he had no idea what was going on. He was just really focused in on that story.
Yeah.
Um, and like they bring the plates basically and they're not sitting and then it becomes this whole thing and I'm like, you guys are making it a whole thing. You could just be like, hey guys, food's ready, and I'm sure they would be like, oh my gosh, and they'd sit down.
Yeah. I think that was one of those things where like you overthink because you're stressed out. You're like,
Yeah.
I can't interrupt Captain. And then someone would be like, why? And you're like, oh, right. Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly. She's like, I couldn't interrupt him. I would have literally just walked up. It's like you can't miss a beat because she would have had to walk up and be like, hey guys, next course is ready. But once you take that beat and stand there for a second, you've missed that window.
Yeah. And then you're just standing there awkwardly, like
Yes.
you don't know what the hell to do with yourself.
Yeah, because now you've missed the window. You can't be sitting there for 5 seconds and be like, hey guys. Like, so that's how I viewed that as really just kind of missed that. But then I think Daisy kind of overreacts in a way with Cloyce. Again, I'm not in the business of defending Cloyce, thinking he's always in the right, but she got, I think, like she went to a level that she didn't need to go to with him of like you were talking
Yeah.
about to the girls, but he really wasn't. I mean, do you agree?
Yeah. He was just being a chef, you know?
Right. He was just kind of talking out loud. It's not like he was complaining about Daisy to Danny or to Deanna. It's like that's how Daisy took it, but that's not really what happened?
Yeah, and at some points in this season, it seems like Daisy is like trying to train him,
Yeah,
and that's really gonna backfire if he realizes that. Because
true.
I don't think he would take it well that she's like trying to acclimate him to like boats and yachting and all this. It just
Yeah.
seems like she's trying to train him when, excuse me, that he just, I don't know, he's a chef. He's gonna yell. He's
Right.
intense. He's doing all
Yeah,
this by himself.
I think Daisy keeps falling back on that he is 22. And yes, to a certain extent, yes, he does need more experience, but I think they're kind of like playing each other in a way because then you see when they talk, I think I even wrote like I feel like Daisy is overreacting on Chloe's and he's like, okay, and she's like, oh, okay. Like she didn't realize that he was gonna react that way. So it's like they're
Yeah.
playing each other, you know?
Yeah, and she's probably also used to a chef blowing up on her in that
Yes.
situation, but he's just like,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yeah, I think that's true. Like, think about all the chefs we've dealt with where it's like they come in hot because they think the chef is, and he didn't. And I thought that was really mature on his part
Mhm.
because he had feelings about it, but like, who cares? Like, it's not worth yelling at each other about. So,
No.
um, so it's like almost like he's letting her think that she's in charge.
Yeah, which is kind of, in the grand scheme of things, smarter.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Because even if, say, you do something wrong, it's a little more on her
Yeah.
because she's in charge
Hmm.
and she can't really take that away when things are bad, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep.
We
Exactly.
could see that unfold.
Yeah. So. Then let's see. Oh no, I totally missed this part, like closing it out. I was like, then Chloe says he's just getting lost in her smile and her eyes.
Yeah,
And I was like, okay, is he joking or is he serious? I don't
I
know.
think he's a little serious. Yeah, he says something like, "Yeah, sometimes when she yells at me, I'm just not paying attention."
I was like, really? Like, I just can't. I still go back to the fact that he's like 22 and I think she's like 33. Like, that's too much of a
Yeah,
gap. He can't, I can't. I mean, some
yeah.
people can. I'm not judging, but I wouldn't be able to. But then I was
It's
like, is he
funny.
joking? I don't know if he's joking.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows with him? He's all over the
Who
place.
knows? He is. Um, so then we get a brief glimpse of Chase and Deanna talking. And he admits he's attracted to both of them, and he's like, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, and I just have this feeling he's gonna screw himself. He's not gonna
I
end up with either of them.
There's no way this works out where everybody's happy.
No.
So, and also, I'm just interested to see how he handles it because, like, again, nobody really wanted him last season. None of the girls wanted him, so he didn't really even have to deal with this at all. Like, and I'm not trying to say that as a dig, like, it just wasn't the situation. So, um, it'll just be interesting to see how he handles this.
Yeah, he seems like he has a tendency to put his foot in his mouth,
Yeah.
and he needs to make a move before that happens. Because I feel like Deanna will leave at the drop of a hat. Danny's a little harder to shake off, but
Yeah.
yeah, you never know.
I also think I also don't know his experience of being in a situation like this because like I'm just kind of thinking about like I think we all know those guys that like weren't super popular in high school, let's say. And then they get to college and they like have a glow up and they're like 6'3" and like they've hit their stride and they're like attractive now.
Yeah, but they
But
were
then they
weird in
don't
high school.
yes, so they don't
Yeah,
have like the experience on like girls liking them.
yeah, like the social IQ of that.
Yes.
Because you
So that's
haven't
what I'm
made the mistakes yet, so you're making
yes.
these mistakes in college instead of high school. Yeah,
Yeah, so but I could be wrong, right? Because that all we know of him was last season. He could be I'm sure he's totally fine. Like I don't think this is the first time a girl has liked him, but
true.
that's just the vibe I get from it because I can like clearly picture like I know a kid that was not super popular, good looking in high school who then like started dating all these girls after high school and that's it's just who I'm picturing. I'm just getting stuck in that box.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Um and then like we're kind of almost to the end of the episode. Daisy can't get this guest's coffee right and I can't decide whose fault it is.
Yeah, they all just kind of seem unhappy. Like,
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I guess
I
I'm not super rich, but like if you get my coffee near the way I like it, it's fine.
Well, and then I think it was a little bit on the guest because I was like watching it back. And so at the first initial thing, she was like, can I get a coffee? Like, I want it sweet, but not too sweet. And like Daisy's like, oh, I got you. And like, I think we all have kind of a universal, that's how I like my coffee. I want to taste the creamer, but I want to taste coffee more, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like
Now,
one cream, one
mom,
sugar.
yes, our mother, I watch her dump a ton of creamer in that coffee and makes it
Hmm.
almost not even the color of coffee
Yeah, it's
anymore.
like this orange.
Yes, yeah.
Like it's absurd.
Um, and that's her preference. I think that when the guest said that, I think she wanted it like mom wants it.
Yeah, where
She should
you
have just
can't taste
said,
coffee.
right.
It's
I and
sugary milk.
yes, I think people try to be fancy and say, "Oh, just a little sweet, but not too sweet," but they actually want it really sweet, and
Yeah.
then it's on the other person. Like you can't get mad at somebody for that because you don't like coffee.
Yeah.
It's like when you were little and you ordered the vanilla bean frappuccino at Starbucks and all it is like a vanilla milkshake.
Oh, is it really?
Yes. But you thought you were so cool because you got Starbucks, but there's no coffee in
It
it.
was $9 for a cup of whipped
Yeah.
cream.
Yes. Um, so and then it was breakfast, and then did you get the vibe they like weren't impressed with the breakfast?
Yeah, that's why I said they just didn't seem happy with anything.
Yeah, but the
Um,
breakfast wasn't bad, right? What was it?
I think it was just a normal like fresh fruit,
Yeah.
um,
Bacon.
bacon, probably sausage, eggs.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't seem super happy with that, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. I think it's a little bit of foreshadowing because we're getting to the end of the episode where I think there's going to be more issues with them being kind of particular next episode.
Yeah, and they're also I don't know what in their 40s and 50s, and they're hungover
Mm,
as hell. Like,
true.
just get them drunk again. Screw it.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
Um, so then they get in the water and the guests almost immediately get stung by a jellyfish,
I know.
no?
I'm like, did a producer throw one in there? Like, it's like 10 feet away from the boat.
It's like perfectly placed too, because literally all the other women are just sitting in that little circle thing
Yeah.
watching her go. And she's the only one.
Yeah, and Gary just goes right past it, and somehow
Yes.
she gets stung. Incredible.
And it was a bad sting.
Yeah, that was
Like,
bad.
it was like both legs, no?
I think it was both legs, but the one leg was like all the way from like above her knee down to her ankle.
Oh my God. And then I was laughing at the noise she made, but then I'm like, you know what? I probably would have made the same noise, maybe even worse. So
Oh
I
yeah,
can't judge.
either me or Brad would have had to get you out of the water. There's no
Oh
way.
yeah. Yeah, I'm terrified of being stung by a jellyfish because I know how likely, like, I'm not afraid of being eaten by a shark. I mean, I am to a certain extent, but I'm a realist where it's like I know it's much more likely I'll get stung by a jellyfish, and I do not want to get stung by a jellyfish. But I know it's probably going to happen in my life.
Oh yeah. There's no doubt in my mind you're gonna get stung by a jellyfish. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet.
I am too, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm but even in my early 20s when I was like traveling a lot, I still was myself of being like knowing what was right and wrong. I think I've told this story before, but I was in Greece. We were in Mykonos, and it was at one of those, day club on the beach, but it was nighttime, so I guess it was like a nightclub, but it wasn't one of the big nightclubs. But it was on the beach, and I was with this girl, and she's like, let's go night swimming. But in my mind, I'm like, you don't do that. Like, you can't see.
No.
Everybody tells you to not do that. And I'm like, I'll hang out here. Like, you do your thing. So she goes, and I didn't know if she went by herself or with someone else, but where we were staying, it was like beach, water, and then there was like a shelf. Like, you know how like there's a shelf in water sometimes?
Like a break.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but it was underwater.
Ugh.
So you could like swim to it and then like kind of like climb up onto it and stand on it and kind of looks like you're standing on water, but you're
I hate
standing
it.
on that.
Yeah, but
So she went
I
on
get you.
that full of sea urchins. Like she couldn't see them. So she like climbed up on this break, this shelf, and got so many like sea urchins in her legs and stuff. So it just goes to show, like I've never done stuff like that. I've always kind of taken precaution, knowing you don't touch reefs. You really don't touch breaks like that. Like it's rocks in water. There's gonna be stuff on it,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's dark. So anyway,
Ugh.
long story short, I know what to avoid, but sometimes jellyfish are unavoidable. Like that
Yeah.
situation, that could have happened to me.
Yeah, some of those sea urchins can just kill you.
Oh yeah.
Like,
It
yeah.
most of the time they like don't. Brad
Yeah.
got one in his finger once. It was
Fingernails,
because of me.
fingernails, fingernails. It's because of you.
Yeah, because I freaked out. You know me.
Yep.
I
Call him as a
he's
cucumber.
told this story. We were in Spain, actually. Hey, we were in Spain and we were
Espana.
snorkeling. Yeah, and we went through this reef where you could swim through it. But it was like only one person at a time could. Like it was kind of like I don't want to say it was claustrophobic because you could have always went to the top. Like you weren't stuck in it per se,
Mhm.
but if you wanted to swim through it, it was like one by one. And something he was in front of me, I think, and something like touched me and I freaked out and like kind of hit him and then he had to brace himself with the reef and he got a sea urchin in his finger.
Of course.
Of course. It's just like one spike in his finger, but it was because of me. Oh man, I don't know why anybody puts up with me.
I have no idea.
But they figured it out. I didn't know this either, that the jellyfish have like little hooks they can put in you.
Yeah, I didn't know that
I did
either.
not know that.
I always thought it was like a toxin.
So did I, but
just like on their tentacles.
Same.
I just kind of
So
punched myself in the nose. Ow.
You deserve it because you said something mean about me.
I didn't say shit.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
No, I did not realize they have like little like what's the word I'm looking for?
Barb.
Spikes? Yeah, like little barbs. That makes me even more scared now.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it makes sense because they do use that to like hunt with. So if the barb goes into like a fish, it will like keep poisoning it, and then it dies, and then the jellyfish can eat it.
Oh my god. Jellyfish eat fish?
I don't know. I have no idea.
What do jellyfish eat now that I think about it?
Some of them are just like immortal and like don't eat anything. They freak me out.
Literally. Yeah, they are one of those things that it's like an alien.
And then there's some that are like this big but kill you immediately. It's
oh
like,
god, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
No.
They come up in your bathtub sometimes.
No, they don't.
No,
I don't take baths, so I don't have to worry. I'm too tall.
So true.
It's so true. I'd need like an XL bath. Yeah. People talk about taking nice relaxing baths. I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't know. My knees are up to my chest.
Yeah,
so
it's
like
not comfortable.
No.
You're just like this. You're like in a twin bed. It's stupid.
Yes, yeah. Oh, but anyway, they take care of her. They do get the little barb out because that is what I think causes all the pain. Like she basically said, like immediately it felt better once they got that out. So everything was fine. I said, damn, that does look like it sucks.
Yeah, it was like blotchy, like all the way down her leg.
Yeah, no thanks.
Fuck that.
And then we end with what you started at the top of the episode. Daisy literally just told Chase what Danny's been up to this season, and she got mad.
Yeah. And like kind of a dick move on Daisy's part, but like she wasn't
I don't
lying.
think so. No. I literally don't. I'm on Daisy's side 100% on this because like what are you talking about? Like Daisy didn't even say it like negatively. I think I would not be on Daisy's side if she's like, yeah, Danny's been hooking up with people left and right. But she literally just said like, oh, Danny and Keith had a thing. And then she hooked up with this guy at the beach club we were at, which is true. He's going to watch the show.
True. Yeah. I mean, sooner or later. Yeah.
And of course, what does Danny do? Immediately goes to Daisy trying to sabotage her. Daisy wants Chase. No, she does not. Trust me. No, she's good.
She's good. Yeah, this is why I'm not friends with girls. Like every pick-me girl ever says that.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly it.
Yuck.
So, anyways, that's basically it. The coming up on, we get the guest getting mad about her birthday party.
Yeah.
And then more fighting over Chase.
Yeah.
Anything else did I miss?
No, that was about it. That was my last note, the whole pick me girl thing.
Yeah. And then the guest getting mad about her birthday. They were going to put black decorations up and she's like, don't do that.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe you should have specified that then.
Throwing a fit for no reason.
Maybe you should have said you want a gay brunch birthday party.
That'd be fun.
That would be so fun.
God,
oh my god, that's what I want.
Make a rainbow cake though.
Oh yeah.
Didn't the chef
Who made the rainbow cake?
I think it was like last season or season before that where they complained about gay breakfast.
Oh, it was the rainbow pancakes.
Rainbow pancake, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, they complained that they were just different colors and we were like, "Well, what else do you want them to do?"
That's a fucking rainbow.
Oh man. Yeah, so we'll see what happens next week. A little bit more drama next week. Hopefully it's a little bit more exciting than this episode, but what do you got for our secret word?
So I have peach yolks, but you said it was mango.
Oh my God, because I'm pretty sure it is. Peach. I'm like, oh, there's no way I can look it up, but I'm pretty sure it's mango. So let's have that be the secret word,
Yeah, I
guys.
was just
Who's
gonna
right?
say.
If I'm right, comment mango. If Lane's right, comment peach. But I'm pretty sure I'm right. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna win this one.
Mm, do
I'm
peach.
like 99.5% sure it's mango.
Put peach. Make my day.
And I didn't look at the bingo cards. I probably could here in a second. Let's see if so I don't think we got any this week, but oh, I almost got one. It says crew forgets supplies for excursion, but it wasn't an excursion, but Daisy did forget rosé.
Yeah, that was close.
I was close, but
If it was for
no
charter,
cigar.
you would have got it. Wait, didn't I have that written down? Or no, I have like supplier forgets something.
Yes, you have provisions forget
Provisioner.
something requested.
Damn.
You have perfect 4+ course meal, but I don't think we've seen 4 courses yet.
I don't think so, no.
Um, Coast Guard, medical issue, dragging anchor.
Medical issue.
Oh yeah, what do you have? Someone has a medical issue. I think the jellyfish would count for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Lane got, so you have 3 in a row. You need 2 more. So we'll see. Ooh, you also have deckhand says they're better than bosun. Does Chase count?
He said that last season, though.
I feel like he said like,
Did he say
I
it
don't
in
know, we'll
an
have to see.
interview, though?
Yeah, like he said something close to like, well, basically being like, I'm just trying to stay under Gary's radar. Like, we'll see.
Yeah.
We might give you that one. Because if you do get that one, then you just are one away and you need a guest to come on to Captain Glenn and then you win.
Oh, I got this in the bag.
I don't know. I don't know. It's not a guarantee.
I'll message him right now.
All right. Well, if you guys were here for this episode, we appreciate it because we know it's not as exciting when we do this virtually or remotely. Um, so thank you for bearing with me because I'm sick. So we
Yeah.
appreciate you guys. And as always, keep liking, subscribing, recommending us. Like, we are so close. I did want to say this. So one of our goals is to get to 500 subscribers, and we're at like 408, 409, somewhere around there. So
Hmm.
if we could get to 500 by the end of Sailing Yacht, like I feel like we will do something special.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like we got to do a 500 subscriber, some sort of
Bonanza.
thing. And then we also, when we hit 500 subscribers on YouTube, we actually get the opportunity, I think, to put merch, like to purchase on YouTube,
Hmm.
which is something we want to do. So, like, if we get to that number, then you guys would have opportunities to buy like stickers and some cups and things like that. So that would be really exciting. So, whatever you guys can do to share us, get us to that 500, we would really appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be great. And
Yeah.
it opens up like the membership thing for us, right?
Yeah, so it's kind of like a Patreon built into YouTube.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I mean it's nothing super crazy. Like when we hit 1,000, even more opens up for us, and that obviously that'll be our next goal. But getting to 500 would be really awesome, and I think we can get there by the end of the season. So
Yeah.
with your guys' help, because it's all on, I pretty much all on you guys. All right, we basically do nothing over here, so you gotta help us out.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks for doing our job. All right.
No, the
Well,
sport's been great though.
yes, it has. But yeah, that's it for us today. We'll see you guys next week.
We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.